Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Taylor's Cold Takes. I don't even know what episode we're on. We're on like 6, 7, 8, maybe. I don't really know. But another week, and I did not have a good week last week or this week. The combined, it was not good for my picks. I went balls to the wall, and they did not hit. My picks did not hit, and but you know, it's part of the game. You make the hard takes, and you gotta deal with them when they don't hit. But is what it is. Does that mean we're gonna stop shooting? Absolutely not. Shooters shoot, and we're gonna keep shooting. And yeah, we're gonna hop right into it. Starting off with the good old MLB talk. The Atlanta Braves have won the World Series. As a Mets fan, I have dreaded this moment. Is a word you could say. Hate was the feeling that I felt when I saw them celebrating. But it was an incredible run. A truly incredible run, and you can't take that away from it. They played incredible. Jorge Soler, World Series MVP, very impressive. Freddie Freeman finally gets his ring. Those are things, as a baseball fan in general, you just gotta have to accept. You gotta live with it. You gotta live with that stuff, and you gotta give recognition. Congratulations to the 2021 World Series champions, the Atlanta Braves. That was hard. That was hard to say. It was very hard to say. But it's sad. It's sad. Saw a stat today. Every single NL East team has won a World Series this since the 2000s, except for the New York Mets. Last time we won was 1986, and got close in 2015. Got close in the early 2000s, but we couldn't do it. Marlins, Philly, Nationals, Atlanta, all there before us. But, you know, with the MLB season ending, it opens up something else. Possibly one of the craziest, most chaotic parts of baseball. The off-season. And things have already started to happen. I mean, there was a trade today between Tigers and the Cincinnati Reds. They acquired Tucker Barnhart for a prospect. Nothing too crazy, but the fact that things are already starting is pretty insane. A lot of opt-outs of contracts. Castellanos opted out. Pilar opted out from the Mets. I think the rest of the guys decided to stay on their teams. But it's the free agency's here, baby. Things are going to start heating up. Technically, free agency has not started, but there's still conversations being held, extensions to be had, trades to be made. And I wanted to make a couple of, predictions, I guess, on what I think the offseason is going to look like. Salary cap has gone up this year. It has gone up. You know what that means? It means more trades, more acquisitions for these big market teams. Mets being one of them. What does this mean? It means those lower market teams are going to be trading. And you know what organization loves to trade? Even though they're not that big, like they're not a low market team. They're like decent. But you know, they just love to trade stars away. That's the Cleveland Guardians. They're the Guardians now. They're no longer the Indians. The Cleveland Guardians are going to trade one of two players. Jose Ramirez or Shane Bieber are going to be off this team by this offseason. They got rid of Bauer, got rid of Clev, got rid of Lindor, got rid of Cookie, get rid of Bieber. I think Bieber is more likely to go because Ramirez is just an MVP candidate almost every single year. And he's kind of the heart and soul of that team. Lindor was also the heart and soul of that team, but I feel like Ramirez is more loyal, I guess you could say. And I just think that he gets, it's a possibility that he gets traded. But I feel like Bieber has the higher possibility of getting traded. And I think we might see one of the craziest prospect hauls we've ever seen if he does get traded. I mean, you're talking about, I think that you have to trade away at least your top 3 prospects to acquire him. Something insane like that. He's on a good contract. He's not having a super big contract because he's still young. He's still on his rookie deal. You make a trade for him, you are set. Who do I see trading for him? Yankees. I see Yankees. I just see Yankees written all over this. A couple other predictions I'm going to make. Yankees also need a shortstop. I see them going after Seager. I think they get Seager. It's going to hurt, but they got the outfield set. They got Stanton, Judge, and Gallo. Don't need to make any additions. They need pitching. That's why I predicted the Bieber. But I think they also need that shortstop filled. They can't rely on Glaber anymore. It needs to be... They need a new one. Seager's a free agent. There's a lot of other free agents. Story could also be an option, but I think they go big. Seager's probably the best free agent shortstop. Him or Correa, I would have to say. I don't want to make a bunch of predictions. I'm just kind of making a general thought on what I believe can happen. But I think we're going to have another big trade besides the Bieber trade. Just another big name player that kind of you don't think is going to go. But I'm trying to, maybe a Buxton. Maybe a Byron Buxton gets traded. Trying to think of someone else. Not saying as much something like the Lindor deal. I think it's going to be a haul like the Lindor deal. But Lindor was in trade rumors forever, it felt like. Until the Mets finally got him. It felt a lot like Mookie Betts. Like you knew that they would have to move on from Mookie. But I don't really see that a big name like that. I think it's going to be a surprise player that gets moved. But enough on the offseason crap. We're not fully in it. It just literally just started. Let's talk NBA. A couple takes I want to make. Celtics are frauds. This team is not good. They have no good chemistry. They just can't get it. They can't get it going. I believe was it Marcus Smart came out and said that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't want to pass the ball. You can't have a teammate of that to say that. That does not build good chemistry, and with a Celtics team that almost feels like there's always drama surrounding it, you can't be having that. Celtics are frauds. They're going to be a bottom playoff team, and they're going to be out round 1 if they even make the playoffs. Tatum's good. He has so much talent, but I don't think they get it going. Chemistry's not going to be there. Knicks are having a bit of a sketch right now, I guess you could say a little hole in the road. I think they lost back-to-back games. I think it was Toronto, and then last night they lost to Indiana. Don't worry. This team is going to be the best team in the East. Stand by that. They're not going anywhere. They just need to get it rolling again. They just got caught up. Something couldn't hit the threes. Defense got a little mixed up. Not worrying about it one bit. Knicks are still there. I'm always talking about East. Let's talk about the West. I think the go-to team to win the West, I should say, is the Jazz. The Jazz look the best in the West right now. The Warriors are in that too. Lakers need to get it figured out. They have something missing right now. I don't want to say it's a chemistry thing because you would think these guys would have chemistry. I don't know if it's a coaching thing. I don't know if they just need to get it running. But Lakers got to get it figured out before they're considered a top team in the West. But Nuggets, I'm not seeing enough. Suns, I'm not seeing enough. Jazz and Warriors look to be the hottest of the West. And I do think that Jazz will win the West. And they just need to get that momentum going into the playoffs. And they can't lose. They always lose in the playoffs. You got to keep it going. Push forward. Mitchell is my guy. Love him. He's a Mets guy. Dad works for the organization. Love him. I just always root for him. I want him to be a Knick. But I don't think it's going to happen, especially if he does get things going with the Jazz, and I hope they do. Really think it's going to be a Jazz-Knicks matchup in the West. For Jazz for the West, Knicks for the East. That would just be awesome. I would love to see it. Knicks fans are going to go crazy. We're in that atmosphere. But, yeah. That, Lakers. I'm just going through my notes right now. I have a lot of Lakers stuff. Because this team is, it's not what you would expect. I think it actually came out that LeBron's going to miss a week, I believe. Something with his hip or leg. He's going to miss a week. So Westbrook and Melo and Davis are going to have to lead this team. Maybe they get it rolling without LeBron. When LeBron comes back, hopefully that doesn't interfere with anything, but they need to start winning games now and getting that momentum rolling. And not following the basketball side of things. Let's talk NCAA. A lot of stuff happened. My picks did not hit. I went really hard with them. Went really, really hard, and they did not hit. But one that did hit, Michigan State beat Michigan. Huge win for Michigan State. Big statement game is what I would like to call it. It was impressive. It was very, very impressive. Kenneth Walker, 5 touchdowns. Are you kidding me, man? Had that one controversial touchdown where he threw the ball and we didn't know if he crossed the line. I think it still got ruled a touchdown. But Kenneth Walker, amazing. Absolutely amazing game by him. Defense looks great. Coaching is incredible. He's one of those coaching candidates for the LSU job, along with Lane Kiffin. But not talking about that now. Thank you for winning Michigan State, and thank you for not making me look like a complete idiot. Because every single other game I picked, lost. Started talking about that. Florida State, you choked, man. You choked. You choked for me. You had it. You had it in the bag. And you let Clemson grab it back. These are 2 bad football teams. They're not amazing. They're not good. They're eh. They're eh. But I just thought you could pull it off of me. I thought you could do me a solid. I picked you. I gave you a shot. And you let me down. Ohio beating Penn State. I really thought Penn State, after, I don't know why, I thought they could do it after losing in 9 overtimes. Oh yeah, Penn State, who just lost in 9 overtimes, should beat Ohio State. It's because I just didn't have faith in Ohio, but now they are slowly gaining my confidence back, and they're looking kind of good. They're looking kind of good. They are. They're not. I think they're 5th or 6th in the playoff rankings. I don't know. I just know they're below the actual playoffs. With Cincinnati. More talk on that later. But they are a good football team. They're getting my confidence back. Stroud looks good. Defense looks good. They look back. But can't ignore the loss to Oregon. Even though Oregon had a worse loss, but we don't got to talk about that yet. So they are slowly sort of gaining my faith and confidence back. But I'm not gonna give it to them all yet. I just don't trust them. Don't trust them yet. Talking about Cincinnati, you gotta stop winning on such low scores. You're looking decent against these bad teams. You need to look amazing against these bad teams if you want to make the playoffs. Not only do you have to go undefeated, you have to dominate. You have to go balls to the wall, kill everybody in sight type thing. You can't let up at all. And that was a bad win. That was a bad win this weekend. I think that you were only up by 7 or 3 at halftime. Like, come on, you should be up by 40. You want to be a college playoff team, you gotta win by 40 against these bad teams. You gotta. Absolutely have to. If you want a chance, you gotta start blowing these teams out. I get that they're undefeated, but these teams ahead of them, they're better than them. Some teams behind them are better than them. You could argue a lot that the teams behind them are better than them. They have better talent. Cincinnati's just really well coached. They gotta start blowing up the scoreboard. Notes turned off there for a second. Really upsetting in the Ole Miss Auburn game. Corral got injured. Doesn't look to be a bad injury. It's not looking good for him to start this weekend. But really upset. Heisman candidate. It's gonna be hard for him to win now with an injury that might set him back. But I still do think he's the best quarterback in college football. He's gonna be the best quarterback prospect still. But yeah, just shaky there. Scary when I saw it happen. Looked a lot worse than it turned out being. But glad he is healthy and looks like he'll be back within the next 2 weeks, I'm hoping. Hot take. It seems like everybody's upset about these college football playoff rankings. I'm not. I agree with them. I already made my thoughts on Cincinnati. Like where Ohio's put. I believe Oregon and Michigan State are there. Alabama, don't care that they lost. Tell me again that I dare you to tell me that Alabama's going to lose another game. They're not. They're not. They might still beat Georgia. I know Georgia has the amazing, incredible defense, but I think I think Alabama really can beat them. I just think Bryce Young is really, really incredible. The receivers are really, really incredible. And it's Nick Saban we're talking about. He's going to find a way to win. Just because he lost to Texas A&M does not mean anything. Does not mean anything at all. I agree with the rankings. I do. I really, really do. Besides that, let's go into the preview for this next week. Another week where not as big games. I'm like, give me something exciting, Give me something big. But the schedule is not looking that hot. We start off with my LSU Tigers going against Alabama. Where they're gonna die. There's going to be a funeral service for the LSU Tigers facing against Alabama. This is going to be bad. This is going to be so bad. They're going to die from Bama. This is literally what I have in my notes. LSU is going to die from Bama. Enough said. Auburn. I have Auburn beating Texas A&M. That's probably the closest matchup in ranking wise. I just have Auburn beating Texas A&M. Not even a hot take. Just had to say something about it. But I really want to spice things up. You're gonna give me a bad week of not as entertaining. I'm gonna spice things up. Give me. I know I'm so dumb for doing this. Give me an FSU upset over NC State. Oh, but Taylor, NC State beat Clemson. Clemson beat Florida State. I don't care. We need an upset. This is going to be the upset. This is my upset. This is it. This is it, baby. I need something good to happen. I just need entertainment. So I'm just throwing it out there. Just give me a good game. Give me a good game. Give me the upset. I don't care. Just give me something. I need something. And then, just for fun. Just because I want another upset. Give me UNC over Wake Forest. Maybe Sam Howell just turns it on, becomes the Heisman candidate we all thought he was going to be against Wake Forest. It'd be hilarious. It'd be absolutely hilarious, and I want it to happen. Please. 2 upset picks. Why not? Let them hit, please. I lucked out last week. Give it to me now. Just give me something. This past week for NFL has been absolutely ridiculous. We're gonna start with the games thing, and then we're gonna start with the stuff outside of football. You know what I'm talking about. Start off last Thursday night. Packers, they surprised me. They beat Cardinals. Rodgers did not have his main weapons. He had nobody. But sure enough, that Randall Cobb, Aaron Rodgers connection is still there after all these years. And he gets done. He beats Kyler Should they probably have lost on that drive? Probably. But AJ Green, learn to turn your head, bud. Next, Bengals. I had a feeling when I was making the podcast last week. I was like, oh yeah, I'm so heavy on the Bengals. I'm talking about how Bengals are the best team in the AFC. And I'm thinking in my head, I go against the Jets this week. It gave me very much Rams vibes from last year when the Jets beat the Rams. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, the Jets are going to beat the Bengals this weekend, aren't they? They definitely are. Sure enough, I'm sitting on my bed watching this game Sunday. I'm like, I see the comeback coming. I'm like, no. And yes, it did. It happened. They choked. Does this mean the Bengals are out of it? Absolutely not. Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon still looked very, very well. It was just that Mike White magic. Simple. It was the Mike White magic. Can't stop it. Well, for my predictions, they will be stopped. But, can't stop the Mike White magic. Can't do it. At least last Sunday you couldn't. Bengals still good. Still probably top. I think they're still top AFC. They go against the Browns next weekend. Talk more about that later, but don't jump off the Bengals bandwagon, okay? Stay right where you're at. Stay right there. Speaking of the Browns, the Cleveland Browns are falling apart, ladies and gentlemen. They are falling apart. They lost 15-10. They had Chubb. They had Baker. What's your excuse, Cleveland? Is the defense bad? Don't even bring Odell into it. I'm going to talk about it later. Don't even bring Odell into this. Don't do it. I chose you guys to win this AFC. And you have disappointed me week after week. And you lost. You just had to lose to the Steelers. The one team. The one team, man. And if that wasn't enough, I chose Detroit to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, just like about every other social media analyst thinking they were genius. Oh yes, Detroit's gonna win. Detroit's gonna win. They got smacked around. They got killed. Dan Campbell, what happened? What happened? That was horrible. That was so bad. You let Philadelphia put 44 on you. What happened? What happened? I still believe Dan Campbell is a great coach. They have a great future, but I'm not picking them to win another game this season. I'm not doing it. Just give them the number 1 overall pick already. Horrible. Horrible. Rams are back to being the number 1 team in the NFL. Took a little 2 or 3 weeks, but they're back. They're back, and they're here to stay. They're here to stay. Matthew Stafford is looking like a MVP frontrunner. I wonder who predicted that. Not gonna say anything yet because it's not over yet, but said what I said. I said what I said. But they're back to being the best team. Just acquired Von Miller. Looks very, very good. Very, very good for the Los Angeles Rams. Patriots surprised me as well. I said it was going to be a close game. I was very close on picking the Patriots. And I picked the Chargers, my mistake. One rule, you don't bet against Bill. You don't do it. It's the one rule. You don't bet, no, that's just 2 rules. You don't bet on Bill, and you don't bet on Tom. Those are 2 rules. You don't do it. And I didn't feel like doing it. Well, actually, I did it. I did it. And they came back and they shoved it down my throat. Patriots defense locked down Justin Herbert. Mac Jones looked great. He really did. This Patriots team's for real. They're going to be a playoff team, and they can really get something moving here. This could be one of the better rookie quarterback runs we've seen in a long time. Last time we saw a rookie go deep into the playoffs was Lamar Jackson. So, let's run it. I mean, screw it. This team looks good. Bill Belichick. If anybody's going to do it with a rookie quarterback, it's going to be Bill Belichick. Next, Bucks looked real bad. It looked real bad and lost to a backup quarterback. Defense just lost it. I don't know if it's because the game plans changed. They thought they were going to have to deal with Simeon But they ended up, with Jameis, and they get Simeon. Don't know if that messed with it. Kamara kind of ran over them a lot. Sean Payton, incredible coach game. Incredible coach game for Sean Payton. But, yeah, Bucks did not look good. Brady, especially with 2 turnovers. 2 bad turnovers, I might add. These were not Brady-worthy turnovers. This wasn't their game. You know what? They lost bad to the Saints last year as well. But they, at the end of the year, they ended up being champions. So what are you going to do about it? Let me fix this a bit. Is that better? Okay. Anyway, the Jameis injury sucks. It sucks. It's you just hate seeing any player get injured. But Jameis Winston's such a light-hearted, happy-go-lucky guy, and he really cares about his team. And to tear an ACL in that moment in your first game back against your old team that threw you away, it sucks to see. I can only imagine what he's going through. But of course,